It's a new year and a new chance for you to make a fresh start with your compliance. For the next 31 days on the FCPA Compliance Report, we're going to be bringing you a daily tip, strategy, or idea that you can use to improve your program. Here's your host, Tom Fox, the Compliance Evangelist.
This month's sponsor of 31 Days to a More Effective Compliance program is Affiliated Monitors. Founded in 2004, Affiliated Monitors provides professional, independent, integrity monitoring and ethics and compliance assessments nationally and internationally and across almost all industries. With its knowledge of effective ethics and compliance programs and cultures, Affiliated Monitors is respected for its work as the corporate monitor on matters ranging from multinational corporations to small and mid-sized companies and even individuals. Having served in over 750 monitorships, no one has more experience as an independent monitor than the team at Affiliated Monitors. For more information on how an independent monitor can help improve your company's ethics and compliance program, visit this month's sponsor, Affiliated Monitors, at www.affiliatedmonitors.com. Innovation through originating a compliance ecosystem. The compliance profession is at an inflection point, moving away from the lawyer-driven written policies and procedures to a more operationalized regime where compliance is a part of the overall ecosystem embedded directly in the business process. Seen in this manner, compliance will not be a cost center, but a value center and a value creation center, helping the company to make businesses more efficient and, at the end of the day, more profitable. How can you create a more efficient and more effective compliance ecosystem? There are 5 key steps to doing so. Number 1, help others create value. One of the key concepts of the ecosystem culture is that success is as much about helping others innovate as it is about being innovative yourself. Companies that have built a successful ecosystem have done so incrementally, broadening the value of their core offerings by finding opportunities to apply one of their features or functionalities to some previously unrelated product or service. This should be the role of compliance to help make other corporate disciplines more efficient through an effective, fully operationalized compliance program. Put another way, there should be shared functionality between compliance program components and other corporate functions. Number 2, play a supporting role. Compliance does not have to provide the answer to the creation of a business process. It only needs to help improve it. This means compliance does not have to take the lead, but can play a complementary role. Compliance can do so through more efficient compliance internal controls, or in some instances, less controls, i.e. less is more. Compliance needs to have the ability to respond more fully, but is also the understanding that it is business operations that drive sales for an organization. This does not mean putting all your eggs into a short-term profit basket. The creation of long-term value is more favored by partnering with other disciplines within your organization. 3, how do you participate? Through 2 key concepts. The first is access, the second is attachment. Under access, the more open the system is, the better. This means compliance needs to have a seat at the table, and you need to be seen as a trusted partner rather than Dr. No from the land of no. Additionally, access also includes the end-using customer, so this means the compliance function has to take into account the business wants rather than simply a compliance diktat. This can be difficult if compliance is run out of the legal function, which normally does not work with a business unit to make processes more efficient. Key under attachment, the key is that end users will not change the developments without a sign-off of compliance. For instance, if you've developed an app for a mobile use, does that have the look and feel of current apps, or is it something different, i.e. designed by a bunch of old guys? If you can demonstrate the tangible benefits of business efficiency, this will go a long way towards attachment. 4, compliance must adapt. There should be a trait of every compliance professional, but it is critical in the ecosystem culture. It mandates an outward-facing culture and ability to manage multiple relationships. Clearly, the requirement of any successful chief compliance officer or compliance professional. Beyond strategy, to build an ecosystem, you need to manage your organization. Once again, the key concept is for operationalizing compliance. The bottom line is that compliance ecosystems must be aligned more closely with the business core of any organization. This comes only through a thorough understanding of the business unit functions and a process knowledge as well. 5, managing multiple ecosystems. If you've ever sat in the CCO chair, you know that your life is constantly juggling multiple balls in the air at once. Perhaps my favorite metaphor is fixing or even swapping out jet engines while flying at 400 miles per hour at 35,000 feet. However, in the corporate world, think about all the other disciplines compliance does or should touch. For instance, how many touch points are there in the HR sphere around compliance? I submit that compliance touch points are at each step of the HR life cycle of employment for any person in the organization. The same is true for an entire sales cycle and procurement cycle. Compliance should work through each of these in those ecosystems to more fully operationalize compliance by adding value through increased business efficiency, not bureaucratic burdens. There's another way to think about the ecosystem approach which can make your compliance program more effective. Think about third parties your company has on both the sales side and the supply chain side. If you work to foster a closer ecosystem with those stakeholders from the compliance perspective, it can not only make the business relationship stronger, but make the entire business process more efficient. Compliance is undergoing a paradigm shift as a result of technological and digital innovation. CCOs who cannot interpret data from their own system will find themselves consigned to the dustbin of corporate luddites. Compliance will be moving forward into a new era of collaboration and connection to more fully operationalize it with all business stakeholders. So what are today's 3 key takeaways? Well, let's start with really the last key point. Compliance is undergoing a paradigm shift as a result of technological and digital innovation. If you're not on the forefront of it, you'll be left behind. 2, to be an orchestrator and a prime mover of compliance ecosystem, you need to have superior service that cannot be replicated by any other key function in your organization. And finally, 3, always remember compliance should help out other corporate functions. You're not the leader, you're complementary, but you can be a key point in all of that. I hope you will enjoy the entire month on innovation and compliance in this month's offering of 31 Days to a More Effective Compliance Program. If I could ask you to do so, would you pass on to at least one person this podcast series on the nuts and bolts of compliance as I'm trying to expand my audience base for 31 Days to a More Effective Compliance Program. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow where I take up another topic in innovation and compliance. Thanks again for listening. 31 Days to a More Effective Compliance Program is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.